Hello, Jenny.
Hello, can you see me?
Yes, we can see you. Welcome, Jenny. The last time I saw you was in Amsterdam. It's nice to have you.
Yes, great to be with you. Thank you for inviting me for this webinar. And
Great.
Hello from Stockholm, Sweden. I'm sitting in the newcell head office in Stockholm. And we have a chilly but nice summer day anyway.
So please introduce yourself and give us your presentation. Thank you.
Yes. So my name is Jenny Fredricsdotter. I've been working in fashion for about 20 years, mostly working with fashion production for big companies like H&M, 15 years with them, and also with some smaller brands, Swedish and international. And I've been with newcell now for, it's getting close to 3 years. So I followed the journey from not so much to functioning plant where we recycle textiles, and we have this spring launched our first product. So I will start. So what we want to do is we want to make fashion sustainable. So I start with a short movie about renewcell.
There is fashion everywhere, on everybody, and in almost every store. But producing all these clothes means more carbon emissions, more chemicals, more waste, and more water use. It's not sustainable. But there is a way to put fashion first without putting the environment second. Because we know how to recycle cotton so it can be turned into new fibers, yarn, fabrics, and garments that can be produced and worn with a clear conscience, and then recycled again and again. So give us your used jeans or any used garments. We upcycle them into a new biodegradable raw material, which has the same or higher quality than virgin pulp and can be fed into the textile production cycle. Recycling clothes finally works.
So this was in short explaining what we are doing. So renewcell is a recycling company, and we make a new product from textile waste. I will come into it. But as you know, unfortunately, fashion is a wasteful energy industry. We use a lot of energy. We use a lot of material from the earth, and also a lot of water, a lot of chemicals are involved in the textile production chain, and almost all that we make is going back to waste. We only recycle about 1% of the textiles that we produce into new fibers again. And almost every second, 1 truck of waste is going to landfill or for incineration. So that is, of course, not sustainable, and this is what we want to do something about. About 90 million tons of textiles are burned or put to landfill or end up as plastic pollution in the oceans every year. And of course, as the population of the Earth is growing, the middle class is increasing, which is a good thing, of course. Less people will be in poverty, but this will also mean that more and more consumers will start using more clothes and more textile product. And this will end up in even more waste unless we change the way we consume and produce textiles today. So we don't have to do it the way we have done it before. There are possibilities to make it differently. And this is what the renewcell process is all about. We want to use the cellulose in textiles, mainly from cotton, but also from materials like viscose and lyocell, and turn it back to high quality raw material and use it again and again. So we want to make it possible to make circular fashion at scale. There is already awareness and it's increasing in the industry and among consumers. We are all waking up to the fact that we need to change the fashion industry. Our Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg has been not only on Times magazine, but also on influential covers of influential fashion magazines. So I think that shows that there is a demand and an interest for sustainable fashion. And of course, the brands know they also need to make a change. And there are promises put to make the industry better and to improve. But it's not so easy to change because there are not so many alternatives available in the industry today. We cannot continue to use land, water, and the raw material the way we have done it so far. We cannot continue to produce cotton on areas where we need to grow food, and we cannot continue to use fresh water needed for crops and for drinking to dye and produce textiles. There are not so many solutions available. The solutions available so far have been not so good in quality, but so there has been a downgrade in fiber quality when you do the recycling. For cellulosic material, I should say. For the synthetics, it's working a little bit better. But we believe that using our method, there is a way to make better fibers at scale. So our idea is to make fashion circular. The conventional way of producing fashion is a linear system, but we want to take it into circular. We don't want to waste the nice materials that we have produced. We put so much resources into producing garments and growing crops. And we should use this material again and again and again to not to be dependent on new land and new raw material for the production. So we have to keep the material flowing. This has happened in paper industry. About 30 years ago, no paper was recycled, and today about 58% of all the paper used is coming from recycled paper. So there is a possibility to do the same transformation with textile and fashion, and this is what we want to do. So then, our raw material, circulose, what is it? Short movie again.
Circulose is a new natural material made from the cellulose in worn-out clothes. When old clothes are recycled, we can recover the cellulose in them and make new clothes from it. First of all, circulose makes it possible to recycle the same garment over and over and over again without losing any quality. It also allows us to make clothes without cotton fields and trees and oil. Recycled clothes are debuttoned, unzipped, decolored, and shredded to pieces. The shreds are made into a slurry, and any polyester is removed. What's left is cellulose, the stuff that everything green around us consists of. The cellulose is dried into sheets of circulose. The sheets are then spun into fibers and made into new clothes. And as if that's not enough, this new material is available for all brands worldwide. Let's change fashion.
So circulose. This movie was made in connection with the launch we had together with H&M in March this year, where we had our first ever garment made from circulose raw material sold in shops and online. The dress is here. I hope you have all seen it. It's a beautiful blue viscose dress made from 50% recycled content coming from circulose. And circulose is the product you see in the picture. So it's an alternative raw material for production of man-made cellulosic fibers. You can use it in the same way as you do with conventional wood pulp, but it's climate positive. We have, according to studies made by SES, we have about 2 kilo of carbon emission negative. So when you use the circulose raw material, you're decreasing the impact actually. We need no virgin resources to make the material. We don't need, we use water, but all the water is going back into the normal water system. We are located on the lake of the biggest, on the border of the biggest lake in Sweden. And we need to be extremely careful about the way we use water. So we are just borrowing from the lake and put it back in good condition for the fishes to continue to swim. We need no fertilizers or pesticides to make this raw material, as we are only using the waste products from already produced materials. We need no land. So we have no impact on the habitat of wildlife. And as it is a biodegradable raw material, it's natural. So there are no microplastics involved in our process. Compared to only using cotton, you can save a lot of water by replacing some of the raw material in denim, for example, with circulose, with good results. You can still make a very nice product with a good denim touch and hand feel. So the fibers, currently we are making viscose staple fibers out of this raw material, circulose. We have also made lyocell and viscose filament in lab, but at industrial scale we are currently producing viscose filament fibers. The fibers that you make using circulose raw material has very, very similar properties to conventional fibers made from wood pulp. So you can use the fibers in the same way as you do with conventional viscose staple fibers. So you don't have to compromise on look, hand feel, and quality of the fibers that you use, but you can still benefit from a better LCA and a lower environmental footprint. As I said, we are just selling viscose staple fibers now, but we hope, and hopefully maybe even next year, to be able to offer also lyocell and viscose filament yarns on the market. In our process, we use different types of raw material. We work with both pre- and post-consumer waste. For the post-consumer waste, we are working with waste traders, and we take material and garments that has been collected for the second-hand market, but due to different reasons, the quality of these garments was not good enough. The garments were stained, they were broken, they were very out of fashion, or in other ways not sellable according to the traders. So we can take this material instead and upcycle it to new fibers. When it comes to industrial waste, we work together with several denim mills mainly, but also other textile producers. We can use raw material from spinning, weaving, and also, of course, cutting waste. We can also use material from products produced but not sold. So things that are normally going for incineration due to that they are not sellable. So we use all of these type of input into our process. The process works with garments, cuttings, and also yarns. So we are quite flexible when it comes to sourcing raw material. We are working together with the mills, the brands, and the traders. When it comes to cooperations, right now we are working in projects mainly. We are scaling up, but we are still not super large, but we are increasing day by day. So there are 3 ways to work with us right now. The first one, of course, the closed loop cooperation is the cooperation we prefer. In this cooperation, we work together with brands and manufacturing, taking in the waste, either from industry or from post-consumer collection. And we make the raw material, circulose, and then again, fibers can be made. So we have a circular project together. Then we have the open loop cooperation, where some brands that don't have access to a lot of waste, or they haven't started with waste collection yet, but it's still possible to buy the fibers and use the circulose fibers in new product. We can also be a recycling partner for companies that don't necessarily use man-made cellulosic fibers in their product, but they still have a lot of waste. So here we can be an alternative to end of life incineration and landfill by recycling the products that could not be sold for some reason. So right now we have one site up and running in Kristinehamn here in Sweden. It's the world's first industrial scale recycling plant for a cellulosic textile with this chemical process. We can recycle, in our plant, we can recycle about 30 million garments every year. So it's quite a lot, even though in textile it's quite a small plant, but it's an industrial scale scale plant. But we are not happy with that, of course. So we have the goal to increase our capacity to 1 billion garments recycled every year by 2027. So we are planning to build additional plants in many areas of the world. The industry needs technology that can be scaled up, because, as I said in the beginning, the amount of discharged textile and the garments is enormous, and it's increasing day by day. So we need scalable options for taking care of the waste that we produce in a good way. And if we don't take care of all this waste, fashion will kill the planet. We will use all the land and water available for humans and animals to make garments, and that doesn't make sense. So we need to do it in a better way. And we knew that when we developed this process for the circulose pulp, we had to be circular, we had to be affordable, and we had to offer material of a high quality, so you don't have to compromise. And the customer should not even notice that the material is made from recycled raw material. They should be able to use it as any normal product, but with a good conscience. So this yellow dress was the first product that was produced by this technology. The company was founded in 2012, and we have come quite far since then. Our founders are experts in cellulosic chemistry, working in the Royal College of Technology here in Stockholm. And yeah, from the yellow dress to the blue dress, the step is not so big when you look at the dresses, but from working in a very small lab in the college here in Stockholm to an industrial scale plant in Kristinehamn with the capacity of recycling 30 million t-shirts per year, it has been an amazing journey. And as I said, we had the first launch in March this year together with one of our shareholders, H&M. They started to sell the blue dress, and it was amazing actually to see a product made from the raw material recycled in the plant in Kristinehamn. And already next week we have our next super exciting cooperation being launched worldwide. It's by a very well-known denim brand. I cannot tell you, but it's coming up in exactly 1 week. So we are super excited about this cooperation, of course. And it's denim to denim recycling. We use the post-consumer denim to create raw material for a new amazing denim product. So stay tuned next Tuesday, the 21st of July, for this amazing launch. So we raised the capital, we made the prototypes, we did the work, we built one plant, but of course it doesn't stop. So now we are taking the next step to make a second plant with much bigger capacity, and hopefully we can continue the journey and increase the capacity for recycling and make much more raw material available for the world. So hopefully this gives a little bit of hope to the situation that it's possible. It's recycling clothes works and it creates fantastic products from it. So help us and support what we do and buy the jeans next week and recycle your old ones. And we can help each other and make fashion circular.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I don't know if you wanted to add anything, Andrew, but we've received an overwhelming amount of questions for you.
Okay.
It's really good. We don't have a good amount of time, sadly. So, Jenny, if you could stay a little bit longer and answer them on the chat box, that would be amazing, because I think some of the questions raised are really, really interesting. But maybe we have time for one or two. Yeah, Andrew?
So one of the questions is so you produce fiber itself, or you produce the pulp? What is it that you actually produce?
No, the product from our plant is the pulp.
I see.
Then we work together with the conventional, let's say, fiber producers to make the pulp. But we buy back the pulp and the fibers, and we sell the fibers.
So then there are a lot of issues with viscose in all sorts of certification levels.
Yes, of course.
How do you do your certification for your viscose?
Right now, we are waiting for the certifications, actually. We had a GRS audit planned for this spring, but due to the unfortunate events of the COVID-19, it has been postponed to Q3 this autumn. But we hope it will happen, and of course also then so we will start to certify the pulp. Then the next step, of course, is to certify the fibers. And here it is a discussion because there is not much viscose certified today, and also very few of the viscose producers are certified. But this is an ongoing discussion here, how to make this happen. But we are pushing the industry, and hopefully with the help of Textile Exchange, we can make this happen.
Where can people buy your product? Are there mills, denim mills that are running it that they can buy from?
Yes, we have sold our product to about 15 mills, or 15 textile producers, I should say. It's not only denim mills, we also work with some spinners and some other textile producers. The cooperations are being launched now during this autumn.
Perfect.
So it will not take too long, I think, until you can see where to buy it. We will launch, of course, the cooperations also online on our webpage and on our Instagram and on the Circulo webpage. But yeah, soon several mills are developing qualities using these fibers now.
Thank you very much.
Super exciting.
Thank you for your presentation. We're out of time, but we really appreciate you coming here again and sharing
My
your.
pleasure.
We have a really nice attendance, so that's really great.
And the questions are incredible, Jenny. So
yeah, I will start to answer them.
Thank you.
I'll do my best. Please, I apologize in advance if I cannot answer all the questions in detail. Depends.
Thank you so much.
Health in Sweden. I know it's difficult times, but wish you all the best.
Same to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.